Hey, I'm Craig, and today for the Surfboard Guide, we're going to check out the TwinCab by Nick Blair of Joistik Surfboards. So the TwinCab I've been riding is a 5.8, and it's 5.8 by 23/8 by 2 9/16, and it's 33.8 litres. So you would have seen a while ago we checked out the CabSav and the CabSav 2. The CabSav 2, awesome board, very versatile, good in small waves, kind of went up a little bit in the wave range. But the CabSav that Nick does is possibly still the best small wave board I've ever ridden. Super, in waves that are almost non-existent through to kind of waist high. There's nothing that thing can't do. And, I can go a bit above that, but nothing lights up small waves like that board. So anyway, after loving that board so much, I was frothing to check out the TwinCab. Been a fan of Nick's boards for a while now, personally know him quite well. Good guy, makes awesome boards. So I was frothing to check it out. So having a look over the TwinCab, Nick says it's kind of a blend of like a, more of an 80s twin fin shape with some kind of modern performance characteristics. So looking over it, pretty gentle rocker through the nose, nothing crazy. It's really quite nice how it just kind of lifts up, just sort of works really well. Rail, it's pretty thick through center, so 2 9/16. It's pretty thick at the stringer. I'd say the rail is pretty full. Rails drop away to the edge, kind of like a mid, but this is definitely a full rail. It is full through the front, like it holds a lot of thickness in the rail through the foil there. And it also holds a lot of thickness under the back foot, and then it just thins out through that V at the back. So it holds a lot of volume throughout the board, really easy to paddle, get across flat sections, make little tubes and not make tubes, as you'll see later. But yeah, super easy, moves fast very, very quickly. Flipping over the TwinCab, Nick says that it's a single through the front. Nothing crazy. There's a double you can definitely feel through the fins. You can see the stringer extrudes slightly between the fins there. And then there's a nice little V. You just see the swallows drop away off the back. And there's a V off the back. So that's just going to make pivoting and turning really easy. And the board's going to be very, very easy to surf. Also, on the outline, kind of holds its width throughout the board. It's fairly wide through the front. It comes away into a pointed kind of nose. It is pointy, but not too narrow. Has a fairly kind of straight rail line from about a quarter down. It holds its width definitely until this nice little like winged bump flyer, whatever you want to call it, pops away to this tight little narrow swallowtail, which is really easy to surf. And I'll talk more about the fins because this makes a huge difference about the fins and setup and how many fins you use. And I'll talk more about that later, but feels really nice, gives the board liveliness, makes it loose, very, very easy to turn and very, very easy to surf. So I've had the TwinCab for a while now. I got it late last year, so I've had it the best part of like 4 months. Surfed it on and off, had a bunch of twin fins. Wasn't kind of sure where it sat at first, if it was like a small wave groveler, because it is on the higher end of volume. And I was surfing it in kind of, average summery waves. It wasn't until I got it in some better surf that I really unlocked the potential of this board. So, I surfed it in some smaller, junkier, summer waves. Board went really well. A little bit extra volume than I normally ride, paddled really well. As I said, it holds this foam under your chest, so it'd paddle well, but also get across flat and weak sections really, really well. The single concave to double just keeps water moving, quick and easy, really easy to surf and works really well. But yeah, you'll see some clips where I'm surfing some, it's kind of fun waves, a little bit bigger, a little bit better. And the thing was mental. We've checked out a few twin fins before, probably most notably the Twinsman and the Lane Splitter, probably two of my favorite kind of higher end performance twin fins, and I felt the TwinCab sat right there with them. Both those boards are pure twins with no stabilizer. I did surf this without a stabilizer, but I felt it needed a stabilizer. It's quite narrow through the tail, and I felt without that, when that broken rail line it has here, it kind of needed that stabilizer. Without a, I don't know, but also I'm 95 kilos, I'm quite heavy. And I just felt it was too swirly and too skatey without the stabilizer. But yeah, definitely getting into some bigger, better conditions, 3 foot plus, a little bit hollow, a little bit sucky, bit of push. The thing was amazing. through turns. As I said, the foil through the front and that thickness through the front rail, I felt like I could get it into a turn where normally you'd kind of feel like you're almost going to bury, but this thickness through the front here would almost create speed through turns. Being a heavier guy that generally rides probably lower volume than, you know, probably should full weight. I don't know, I just like lower volume boards. Sometimes I find myself kind of stopping through roundhouses, not having the speed and pace to carry through. But this felt different. This felt like it almost generated speed through turns, and it was an absolute blast. Yeah, got to surf it in a variety of conditions, from kind of like 1 foot shories, rip bowls, the clips that you'll see in kind of like a fun kind of shory. It was a bit hollow, a bit of push, couple of turns and stuff. Also surfed it in some bigger, better stuff. Thing was awesome. But yeah, definitely when it hit like 2 to 3 foot, so say chest to head high, and the waves were good. This thing was amazing. It's definitely a high performance twin fin, and I think it's for, you know, good to better waves, but it still can surf shories, rip bowls, you know, junky summer stuff. It goes okay, but definitely unlocked its potential in those bigger and better conditions, and you'll see a few clips. In the TwinCab, I got FCS, which gave me a chance to check out a whole variety of fins. FCS gave us a whole bunch of twins for summer, riding some different twins. You'll see some more as different reviews. But with the TwinCab, I stuck with an upright twin. I tried a keel, didn't work, kind of hung over the back, didn't really feel very natural. So I went with upright twins, and there's 3 sets that I felt really good with, but one that kind of blew me away. So a lot of people are very familiar with the MR twin. When you think twin fins, you probably think Mark Richards. He was part of the design for this fin, so these worked really well. Probably, you know, 80 to 90%, these unlocked the potential of the board. Felt really good. I'm very familiar with the fin. If you ride futures, the T1 is a very, very similar template. So they felt okay. The Power Twin, which people are probably familiar with also, a little bit bigger, a little bit more surface area. They felt a bit stiffer, a little bit more rigid. They felt okay, but yeah, didn't feel as good as the MR or the Mick Fanning twin fin. So if you're familiar, we checked out the H4s by FCS. We checked them out in like a thruster and a quad, and you probably look at the outline of this fin. If you're not familiar with the H4s, they look a little bit strange. But yeah, these are the new Mick Fanning twin fins by FCS, and they go off, I think the H4s are made of like aluminium or something like that. These aren't. These are just like your normal kind of construction, but they have that same kind of outline with that square edge, a little bit of a different template. If you're looking for the first time, you might be like, whoa, what are they? These felt absolutely epic. I don't know, I spoke earlier about the foil on the board, the thickness of the rail, and wrapping through turns and almost generating speed. While I did kind of feel that with the MRs, not so much with the Power Twins, I definitely felt it with the Mick Fannings. The Fanning twin fin felt absolutely epic. It was very lively, very fast, very easy to surf. I can't say enough about this fin. Really unlocked the potential of this board. Like I said, the MRs were good. They're kind of 90% there, but this just had a little bit of extra spice. If you're going to check out the TwinCab, I'd recommend, if you have FCS, to check out the Mick Fanning twin fin. Absolutely loved it. Loved it in this board, but the other sets worked really well. I also checked out the Pang twin and a few others, and they were okay, but the Mick Fanning twin fins were the go-to fin for this board. Overall, I absolutely love the TwinCab. I've had it for a while now, so I had a chance to check it out in a whole variety of conditions. And like I said, there wasn't too much it couldn't do. You know, in shories, rip bowls, you know, small, junky kind of average stuff, the board went pretty well. But definitely when waves hit kind of that chest high and above, and maybe they had a bit more push in it, the thing was absolutely epic. Similar to the Twinsman and the Lane Splitter, 2 boards I'm very fond of, especially a Lane Splitter. This board sits right there with them. If you're looking for a twin fin that might replace your short board for when the waves get a little bit bigger, a little bit better, think the TwinCab. If you want one board that kind of does it all, it's going to be good when the waves are good, but it's also going to hold its own when waves are average. Again, the TwinCab was absolutely epic. Look, overall, big fan of Nick's boards, been able to check them out. I'll put a link above to the CabSav review we did quite a while ago. I must say that is probably still one of the best, you know, microwave surfboards on the market, without a doubt. So I was frothing to check out the TwinCab, and it did not disappoint. Look, thanks so much for Nick Blair for giving us a chance to check out the TwinCab, and hope you get a chance to check one out too. Thanks so much for watching.